I'll go ahead and call to order the regularly scheduled Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. And we'll begin with roll call.
Chairman Dana Hennis,
Present.
Commissioner Brian Clark,
Present.
Commissioner Ginny Greger,
Present.
Commissioner Jim Mann,
Present.
Commissioner Bobby Rossadillo.
Present.
Thank you. And first up on the agenda is our consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. First up on business items on the agenda is case number 25-22-DR for Meridian Mega Storage. Troy?
Good evening, members of the commission. For the record, Troy B. Hunan, CUNA Development Services Department. The application before you this evening is a request for design review approval for approximately 14.01 acres in order to place 3 flex building structures, also some self-storage structures with uncovered and uncovered RV storage. This project is located at the southeast corner of the Meridian Road and Aristocrat Drive alignment. Aristocrat is the road that goes into Pear Blossom on the west side. The alignment has not been constructed yet, but that's where it's at. Staff would like to highlight that there were a few recommended conditions of approval in the report. The first recommendation would be to provide internal landscaping between the buildings and other areas to avoid heat islands and avoid unneeded runoff during events. Also to resubmit a site plan with appropriate ADA spaces. However, staff would like to correct, there was an ADA space or two that I was unable to find during my initial review. I did find them, so I would actually like to remove that one. They appear to have provided the appropriate number of ADA spaces. And the third and final highlight would be to install code-compliant landscaping and a 10-foot wide sidewalk outside of the right-of-way for Meridian Road along its frontage on Highway 69 in the first phase. Staff has reviewed the proposed application for compliance with CUNA City Code, the comprehensive plan, and should the commission approve the design review request, staff recommends the applicant be subject to the proposed recommended conditions of approval listed in the staff report. I will be here for any questions that you have. Oh, I'm sorry. I probably should highlight that in the report, I do mention that this is actually a repeat. This is the second design review for this site, for this request. Originally, it was approved for a special use permit, which remains valid, but the design review has a time limit or a shelf life, if you will, and this is a request to basically reinstate that design review. So if it looks familiar to a couple of you, that's why.
You saying we're old up here?
I am not saying anything about age.
Thank you, Troy. So quick question on that. Is there anything that has changed from that initial design review that we'd looked at?
That's a good question, Commissioner Hennis. For the record, Troy B. Hunan. If there were changes, they were minor. There was nothing significant to report.
Because it looked like everything was about the same from what I'd remembered.
The buildings may have grown and shifted a little bit, but I mean, a side-by-side comparison would have to be what we would do. And because they were coming back for reapproval, I'm going to be honest, I really didn't put that kind of eye to the site plan comparison.
Because there wasn't any conditions in the special use permit that would have varied?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from the commission?
Yeah, so just to verify, so looking at the site, the landscape plan, currently, we're still asking for more above and beyond what's currently shown, or this is the enhanced landscape plan?
That's a good question.
Because as of
Commissioner
right now,
Clark.
we don't have any interior landscaping.
So we're just Staff felt that there needed to be a little bit more additional on the internal because there was nothing shown. Maybe they're planning to add some in between the buildings, but just to avoid some of the heat islands and the runoff. That was just one thing that I noticed. Again, maybe that was proposed the first time around, but I don't remember noticing it that much.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, that was my primary concern with this site, because in going in and looking at the site plan, it is proposed as all asphalt.
It
And
ap-
so it's 85% coverage of 14 acres with asphalt, which is my primary concern with this site.
And that was why I'm sorry, for the record, Troy Buchanan, and that was why staff thought that it was appropriate to address that, just so that we do avoid a heat island and excessive runoff, because they are uphill. I mean, even though they will, with I'm sure subsurface drainage and things like that, it's just a good idea.
Yeah, let me look at the grading plan here. I saw that. I mean, the nice thing is it is all running towards the street, so, no, never mind. Saw that backwards.
Yeah, I think you're at the wrong street.
And if the
Oh, I saw
commission,
the wrong contours.
sorry, and if the commission would like, the applicant is here to answer some questions. Mr. Matt Sanchi.
Does the applicant want to address or have any presentation?
No presentation, but
Okay.
Yeah, I can speak to the, Matt Sanchi, Matt, if you can put this in the mic. Thank you. Yeah, Matt Sanchi, previously ZGA Architects and Planners, currently Cushing Terrell. I can speak to the project, as Troy has begun to introduce it. We did not modify the project in any major way from the original application. Most of the drawings were the original application drawings.
Okay.
So you're clear on that. There might have been minor adjustments as grading and other developments occurred, but nothing to that. As far as the landscaping, and I noticed you were looking at the contours, the contours do come from the northeast to the southwest due to the condition of the site. We're bringing up the southwest corner and lowering the northeast corner as best we can, but the site, to get it to about a 5% overall grade. We did not introduce landscape on the interior portion due to the non-public facing nature of the space. We did add the landscape along the west and the north portions to accommodate the new collector road and the existing Meridian divide. With everything on the inside, we weren't clear that if there was a requirement for landscaping on the interior for heat island effect as opposed to an aesthetic. And that's something we can discuss, although, the idea here being clean, simple, low maintenance for the use.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you.
Are there any, I didn't see anything in the elevations or anything else, are there any stipulations for lack of a better term, green roofing or solar or anything of that nature on any of the covers? Just something to reduce the heat output from even the roofing materials?
Not currently, but I believe it is, the roofing is, highly reflective. It's not a dark color, so we're looking for a light gray material to help with that heat effect and heat gain on the actual buildings.
Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
And Troy, regarding a question for Troy and staff, what kind of road is Aristocrat considered then? Do we have, because I've noticed we've got no trees, it's just grass along that according to the landscape plan. So does CUNA City Code require some landscaping along there other than just grass?
There would be a requirement for some, depending on the classification.
So I'm not sure what
Aristocrat looks like it aligns with the half mile, the mid-mile collector status.
Yeah, it's
But there's a
46
lot of
foot to curb.
there's a lot of coordination with the city of Meridian. They have an applicant that's worked with this particular outfit and this project in order to create that swoop. You know, the proposed Aristocrat alignment going eastward, it's hard to say because that's outside of the city. So we don't have any kind of classification that we can assign it from the city because it's not in the city of Cuna. It will be in the city of Meridian. So
Okay.
normally, yes, we would want some trees, yes,
Okay.
and shrubs.
I think it does say approved trees along there.
But at the eastern side of the project, that is where Cuna ends and Meridian begins.
Well, it does, as Bobby pointed out, it does say approved trees corresponding to the Treasure Valley Tree Guide and City of Cuna and ACHD, but doesn't indicate anything.
Yes, correct. And if that's something that the commission would like to see, then that we could expand on the requirement for an updated landscape plan, because while there are some trees that are indicated along the frontage of Meridian Road and nothing along a proposed Aristocrat, staff has recommended that they submit a code-compliant landscape plan identifying trees and species and numbers. And there's no shrubs at all in shown.
Correct. Okay. Thank you.
And then I just have to ask, since we're sitting here, the lighting, this is in compliance with dark skies, all that kind of fun stuff? I guess that's a,
For the
Question
record,
for
Trevor
staff.
Heenan. So that'll all be addressed at time of civil plan review,
Okay.
because they're gonna have to have a site
Yeah.
plan, but yes, they have indicated that there would be some lighting. They're gonna need some for safety anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, that will, size, height, wattage, all of that will be handled at time of
Correct.
civil plan.
Yeah, so this is just design review, landscape and elevations and such,
Okay.
so, okay.
so on
Thank you.
that note, I mean, can we approve design review without a, 'cause I
Well-
mean, with the condition, I mean,
Well, as long as we specify what we're looking for to a certain level and have them work with the city, because the city also sees what they're looking for too, because
right,
what, 2 of the recommendations or 3 of the recommendations are staff-based anyways. And so considering that that's, you know, landscaping for planting is probably a more low-key condition, we'd wanna be looking at design of the, you know, the elevations, the buildings, how that looks. We could just condition them to work with the city for kind of what, if we want trees along there, if they want shrubs in the front, you know. We may have to be a little more specific than we have.
so I mean, do we just, because I mean, looking at the buildings, everything else, floor plans, everything else, looks good. I understand the constraints of the site with the grading, so long as city's happy with the runoff and everything else. I don't see any reason to hold the application up for that. It really is just, the heat island aspect of this project that bothers me, so if we can write something in there, or speak something in there, towards the landscaping, I just don't know what that looks like from our standpoint. It's just leave it to the city, leave it to staff,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and conditions as
Just-
outlined.
to staff and the applicant, you know, to work that through, because, you know, there's
We
not
don't
a
have enough in the code
specific
right now to-
requirement,
right.
but we have requirements against heat island effects just globally. So, you know, that would be something we couldn't really state, hey, I want 10 trees, we don't necessarily know, but.
Or 80% coverage.
Right, so, that'd be nice. But I think that's something we can condition enough to have the applicant work, because, yeah, I think as you say, I don't feel it's enough of an issue to hold up the application for another little bit unless somebody has anything. Jim's thinking, I can tell.
Well, I agree with Brian regarding heat islands. Just in general, when I drive through Cunin, I see nothing but black roofs and paving. So I don't know where we're at code-wise with heat island effects, but it may be something we need to look at better in the future here. But as far as this project goes, it's not a bad-looking project. It looks good. I don't know what we could get the applicant to do with the city that would improve the heat island effect. It would have to be something major to have much effect at all. I guess we could request that they look at some more landscaping along Aristocrat, Aristocrat. But I think in interior landscaping would probably not fare well. So I think I agree with Brian there. I don't see any reason to hold this up at this point.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what they could do internally that would make that much of a difference. I mean, it's gonna be
At this
storage.
point, it would need to be landscape islands with trees in order to get any kind of coverage. And that's what we're talking about. Because, I mean, if you're able to put tree canopy on the site, once they're matured, but yeah, that is increased costs with landscaping, maintenance, and irrigation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know how to put that in code without just leaving it. I mean, staff knows what they're doing.
Commissioner Clark, for the record, Doug Hanson, CUNA Planning and Zoning. So as we zoom in some on the landscape plan, you can see that there are landscape islands provided. Currently in city code, our standard is 1 landscape island installed per 8 parking spaces, but that is something that we can look into and see what kind of changes can be
Does-
made to the code.
Does that apply to the RV stalls as well?
That would just apply to the customer parking.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're kind of more concerned with the back area and the storage and maybe how to avoid some of that, but yeah, I'm not sure what can be done.
Yeah. No, as soon as I saw this site plan, the song came into my mind. I mean, it's not quite paradise, but still, they're putting up a parking lot. So that really is my big concern. But again, from a site development, elevations, overall site plan, it's a good project. It really is the landscaping that holds me up here. So I think I'm okay with leaving that in the city's capable hands to make a judgment on that one.
There is a lighting plan in here too.
Yes.
But
I saw the lighting plan. It was just a function of compliance with, so.
mouse issues. Well, I agree. I guess if there's no other comments or concerns, I'd stand for a motion.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve case number 25-22-DR with conditions as outlined in the staff report, with the understanding that the applicant will be working with city staff for landscaping.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That motion passes.
Commissioners, just Doug Hanson, Planning and Zoning, for a point of clarification. We won't bring the decision and written statement or the written findings to you for signature until we have a code compliant landscape plan to affix to them.
Sounds good. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to find my agenda again. Okay, so with that, we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is case number 25-23-DR for Falcon Crest Golf Village amenity. Troy?
Good evening once again, Commissioners. This, for the record, Troy B. Hunan, CUNA Development Services Department. So the application before you this evening currently is for a request for design review approval for residential amenities to include a pool, restrooms, accessory storage building, covered patios, and uncovered deck seating. The project is located near the northeast corner of Cloverdale and CUNA Road inside the Falcon Crest Golf Villages subdivision. Staff has reviewed the proposed application for compliance with city code and the CUNA comprehensive plan, and should the commission approve the design review, staff recommends the applicant be subject to the proposed recommended conditions as outlined in staff's report. I'll be here for any questions you might have. One clarification is, I believe it was on either condition 10 or 14, it mentions a final plat signature. That just needs to be removed. I think it's on 10. Yeah. The last part of condition number 10.
Okay, so we'll need the motion to remove that.
Just that portion of it, yeah.
So condition 10.
Part of, yeah. The part where it talks about a final plat signature.
Roger.
Thank you. Is there any questions for staff at this time? And if the applicant would like to come up?
Commissioner Hennis, members of the commission, appreciate the opportunity. Chris Grant with M3 Companies, 1673 West Shoreline Drive. This is a continued development of the Valor Club and associated residential communities, and we're continuing to really put forward our best foot on this project. We've got the complementary design consistent with the overall architecture and language of the buildings in this development. Similar items such as, upgraded standing seam roofing. You've got your metal panels, and we can kind of click through the. Yeah, I can do that. That's fine. There we go. All right, so you can see right here, it falls essentially in the heart of the overall development. And the old clubhouse is up here, and we're in the process of building out the cart barn and fitness buildings up here, fall to spring. So right here in the middle, it's really it's going to be a great facility. It's got the structure along this south edge, and then surrounding the pool is seating area. We've got pergolas on each side, some barbecue area with fire pit as well. And then outside the fence line, we do have an expansive play structure and generous green space slash grassy area. We do have a substantial amount of parking. In the conditions is the requirement to provide two ADA parking spaces, and we have already directed the civil engineer to proceed with that, and we anticipate having that final design in the next 2 days. So we've gone through and reviewed all the drainage and feel comfortable and that it meets all the requirements for drainage and that it's processed consistent with the standards and requirements for the site. So this again is the architecture. What's nice about this facility is it does really have the space to be able to get underneath. There's underneath these side areas, essentially a patio. It provides that balance between more than a residential, but still a residential feel. So plenty of location to get out of the sun, as my wife would always appreciate at a pool. Then these really nice barbecue areas, and then the steel structure pergolas, which are going to be timeless and withstand the elements and the wear and tear of life. Really nice finishes for the wood cladding, and then the vertical steel as well, and then again the standing seam roof. And a couple of renderings here. It'll show you the pull through here, again the improved structure out here, the playground area up along here, and you know, the generous landscape throughout. So happy to answer any questions and give any insight if you would like to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any questions for the applicant?
And this is more for my own information than anything else, as far as the, so the exposed aggregate concrete slab, that's, I mean, I think that's a great look. Surface treatment on that is gonna be anti-slip. That's the whole point of the exposed
Yeah,
aggregate.
that's exactly right. In fact, so
Really helps with heat
it
dissipation too on the feet.
well, no, yes. Growing up in Arizona, I was firsthand experience of what it is to be flip-flops on a concrete slab in summer. And if you go back to the renderings, it shows it really well. The landscaping is intertwined with the deck surface, so it's not just solid, expansive concrete. It really is an amalgam of both, you know, green and concrete. So and you note that there's trees that are planted throughout, similar to a parking area where you've got trees that are going to give shade to the vehicles. You've got trees that are going to give shade to different areas of the deck.
I appreciate it. It's a good looking site.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
the team's
much.
done really well.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice project. I mean, it's not just a plain pool. It looks really nice. It goes along with everything they've done out there so far. It's just always come out nice. So I don't see any issues with what they've presented.
Just gotta wait for the trees to mature.
Yeah, well.
Alright.
Well, if there's no other comments or questions, I'd stand for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case number 25-23DR Falcon Crest Golf Village amenity with the conditions as outlined in the staff report, with the exclusion of that portion of condition 10 regarding the final plat signature.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. With that, I see no other items on the agenda. Is there any reports or updates from staff?
Yeah, for the record, Doug Hansen, CUNA Planning and Zoning. One information item here is that the Idaho American Planning Association is going to be putting on the Planning and Zoning 101, a hands-on workshop for locals, officials, and staff on October 1st, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Nampa Civic Center. If any of you would be interested in attending, please let me know and the city can sign you up for that.
Thank you. What date was that again?
That is October 1st, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and I can follow up with an email tomorrow with the link to the actual page
Okay.
for more information.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.